Hey, friends, welcome. It's time to move. Let's unstuck some hips, right? Figure out some like cranky things. And we're going to start on our backs because let's start with the low back. I'm like, it's so tight. Come all the way down to the floor. And we're also doing springtime practice, getting things going, getting things moving. So especially if you're in a climate where it's still cold, you're gonna your stuff's just gonna keep like tightening back up, right? But that's also spring. It's that tight connective tissue, right? So I'm just coming right into some easygoing zigzags. Just really easy going zigzag twist. Maybe not even like the fullest zigzag just yet. And just feeling into these attachment sites, these connective tissues. So sinew is what's indicated for springtime. And sinew is ligaments, tendons, the places where muscle attaches to other muscles, and the places where muscle attaches to bone. Those are not blood vessel rich spaces. They don't have a lot of fluid channels. So they get dry and tight. So this way that we do therapeutic movement focused on moving the fluid in the fluid filled spaces in the joints nourishes attachment sites. This is also why just blatant stretching in yoga will not increase your flexibility. It just tugs at the attachment sites. It actually destabilizes the joints and encourages injuries. So this approach that we take with the therapeutic movement using range of motion, this consciousness, movement in the joint spaces, a little rocking and wiggling and shaking, that is going to be insanely helpful. So it's like, even if you did just 15, 20 minutes of that and then did yoga asana, you're going to benefit and you're going to see increased range of motion. Let's bring the knees in towards the chest, give the legs a hug. See how cranky is the low back. I'm giving it a pretty high ranking on the cranky scale. And so I've got my knees in towards my chest and I'm just doing a little gentle rocking. Can I encourage these places that really have something to say here? Can I encourage them towards relaxation? Turning this into circles. Knees come in towards the chest, knees move away from the body. And we're moving in the opposite direction. Come on back to the center and roll all the way onto the right and left sides. Use your elbow to push yourself back to center. Massage the kidneys. Massage the sides of the hips. Bring it on back to the center. So scooch myself back up and back. And we're doing figure eight. So this is getting fluid around that capsule space in the hip in the posterior end. So feel sacrum, feel the low back, and feel how you're moving fluid there. Go the opposite direction. Circle. Nice. Bring the feet onto the floor, stretch the legs. Okay, so I'm feeling that most of my holding is coming from the hip flexors. Feeling into where that is all around. So this is the quad attachment site. That's what we call our hip flexors. Hip flexion is when we're like the knee is bent and you're lifting it like that, which is what you do with every step. You do flexion. Give it a few windshield wipers here on the floor. Bending both knees, stretch the right leg towards the sky. Clasp the hands on the back of the thigh. Let the leg rest as you do circles of the ankles. And now move in the opposite direction, circles of the ankle. We are going to flex. We're going to point. And then we're going to push through the ball mount of the foot. Like if you were a crazy person who wore stiletto heels, that's the position of your foot. Crazy person. I saw a crazy lady in the grocery store the other day. I said, wow, like 4-inch heels. She's doing her shopping, doing her thing. I said, oh, no, no, no. I mean, this person is probably like half my size also, so I could never, just never, ever, ever point, push through the bum. How about one more round? Flex and point and push through the ball mount. And just while we're here, grab the outside of that foot. Have a little half baby pose stretch. A little half happy baby, but still happy. And then bring this leg in towards the chest, like when we're doing those hip openers from seated position. Bring this foot just under the left knee. Play around a little with this knee moving away from me. Let's take arms out to the sides, big inhale. And as you exhale, drop this knee towards the floor. Little rotation, figure four stretch, and a stretch across the front part of the left hip. Inhale it back to center. Right foot onto the floor, stretch both legs. And make some windshield wipers in between. So much of, I would say, hip tension is about us being in seated position. So sitting in the office chair, sitting in whatever we're sitting in and doing work. I know that that's usually how I piss off my hip flexors is a lot of time sitting. Bring it on back, both legs bent. And let's do that same sequence on this side. So we started with the leg in the air, clasping the hands on the back of the thigh so that the leg can be completely relaxed. We've got circles with the ankles. And the opposite direction. We're going to flex. We're going to point, and then we're going to push through the ball mount of the foot. So good stretches here for calves, ankles, all that fascia on the top and bottom of the feet. Black, white, push through the leg. Let's do one more round. Nice. We're gonna bring this leg in towards the chest. Start exploring what that feels like. Little half happy baby. Gonna let this other knee float in the opposite direction. Bring this leg across the chest and give it a little squeeze in towards the chest. So we're just trying to squeeze fluid all around this capsule of the hip. You do squeeze and then bring this foot on top of the knee, just on top of the, above the knee, on top of the thigh. Play a little that this hip is as relaxed as possible here in this externally rotated position. And we take a nice breath in and exhale it down. A little traction for the front of the hip. Inhaling back to center, both feet on the floor. Stretch the legs again. Give it some windshield wiper. Single leg twist. We're going to inhale, bend the right knee. Drop that knee to the outside. Turn the head in the opposite direction. Inhale to the center. Exhale across the body. Let's breathe and hold. Next inhale, we're back to center, releasing this leg over to the left. Inhale, exhale this leg to the outside. Turn the head in the opposite direction. Inhale to the center, exhale across the body into the twist. Turning the head in the opposite direction. So usually my rude anatomy is on the right side, but today it is on the left side, which is so wood phase. So remember wood phase is liver gallbladder, and one of the features of liver gallbladder is you'll have pain in the right hip, then you'll have pain on the left hip. The pain on the left hip will resolve. It'll go back to being that pain on the right hip. Like Wood Channel loves to just switch it up side to side. Classic. Let's take this to each side one more time. This is probably also from this epically hard bed that I'm sleeping in. Like it's like on bricks. Let's go back to the first side. Turning the head in the opposite direction, enjoying a few breaths here in this externally rotated position before we inhale to the center, exhale across the body. Letting go of anything and everything that could be let go of. Do we really need to hold on to it? Does it serve you to hold on to it? Whatever it is. And I'm just going to make a guess that whatever it is actually about growth. Come back to the center and revisit the opposite side. Right, it's time for growth. It's also springtime. Like it's super time for growth. And so if we're trying to hold on to earlier versions of ourselves in any way, that's going to be tough. That's going to make it a lot harder. Let's bring it back to the center. Breathe into whatever feels like it's holding on for dear life. And with a lot of love, just let it know. You don't have to hang on this tight. It doesn't really serve us to hang on this tight. It's not really holding us up in any way or moving us through the world. It's just creating discomfort. Stretch both legs, give some windshield wipers. Let's bring it on into bridge pose, Supta Bandhasana. Feet are in line with hips, pretty close to the bum. Let's do some lifting with inhale. Nice stretch through quads, through chest. Lift from the upper thoracic spine. And exhale, rolling down towards the floor. Let's do 5 like this. Inhale. Sometimes I give a little tail wiggle when I get to the bottom, just encouraging flow in and around the sacrum. I think there's 2 more. Last one, and we hold. Inhale. Exhale. Rolling from top of spine all the way to the bottom. Let's have a few zigzag twists while we're here. Back to the center, take the heel of the hand and just massage a little right where the hip flexors meet. See how things are feeling. Lovely. We're going to do some hip circles from here. I'm just turning so that I have enough for my leg span. So we're here and we're going to drop to the outside, circle around, almost made it. There we go. Try to keep both hips stable on the floor. Keep the body relaxed, but feel how you are activating lower abdominal muscles to do this work. Let's go in the opposite direction. Just 5. Let's start with 5 in each direction. Letting this leg now come all the way to the outside for a nice stretch. But I want to keep that opposite hip on the floor, so I'm playing around. Inhale back to center. That's good strength work for the adductors, inner thighs. Let's take this in the opposite direction. Circle. Now this hip has got some things to say. First of all, I want to make sure I'm even. So there's a little, not clicking, but a little thudding in this hip. Let's go opposite direction. That's the ligament there, just going over a bony attachment site. All right, because it's tight. We're back in the center, letting this leg come to the outside. I've got a really different range of motion on this side here. So I'm even gonna like hold this leg a little, give it some support, because I really want my opposite hip to be on the floor. And bring it up back to center. Nice. Draw both knees in towards the chest. Give the legs a hug. That should be feeling a lot different than when we started. Nice. Just take a breath in stillness. Nice. I'm going to roll to a side or just simply roll onto the belly. Kind of depends on where you are here. But we're coming down onto the belly. And let's do a few poses from here, including a favorite resting pose from here that is amazing for the hips. So let's come into a little back bend series. Starting with baby cobra, belly pushes into the floor, lifting up. Roll the shoulders, squeeze shoulder blades together. Take a breath in. Exhale it all the way down. Take a breath on the floor. Letting the spine find some space. Let's do that a few times. Roll shoulders, squeeze shoulder blades together. And then bring it on down. Let's hold it here in baby cobra. Breathe into the back body. Breathe into all those tight places in upper thoracic spine. Nice breath in. Bring it all the way down. Advaasana, reversed corpse pose. Breathe into the whole of the back body. Melt into the floor. Half locust, really good strength work, stabilizing as well as activating Ida Pingala Nadis, two lobes of the brain. Let's bring right arm, left leg up off the floor and exhale down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhaling down. 5 to each side. Feel free to add that little bit of tractioning that leg out of the hip. Flexing the foot, stretching. Maybe one more to each side. Bring it right into Sphinx pose. Elbows under the shoulders, pushing into the floor, lifting up. Heart forward. Keep breathing. What else can we let go of? What else don't we need any longer? Nice breath in. Exhale all the way down. Okay, so here's our resting pose. I'm even going to grab this pillow that I have here. Flapping fish. So you're going to bring the right leg to 90 degrees. If you're on a surface that has a little slide to it, like a wooden floor or something like that, you could slide this leg even higher. But really, we just need about 90 degrees and then a little bit out so that you feel that opening across the groin. Lots of options for the arms. Could just hang out in the center. You could also keep the trunk in the center, but the arms move to the side. You could have elbow on the ground. You could also have elbow resting on the thigh. Head turned to the side. We're going to take 10 long and slow breaths to hold for about a minute. This is one of those delicious poses that you could do for so much longer. Like I said, it's one of my favorite poses on earth. Bring your arms back to the center. Stretch that leg. Switching sides. We want to bring that knee up and a little bit out so there's a little stretch across the groin. Ten super slow breaths. Take a big deep breath in. Help that to bring the arms back to center and stretching that knee. Sometimes I like to follow this pose up with another Sphinx pose, like following it with symmetry. Ah. Enjoying the restfulness of Sphinx, right? Because we can't just stretch the hips in external and internal rotation, right? We have to get in every direction. So this is extension. When we bring the knees in towards the chest, is flexion. What's our basic theory about therapeutic movement? Whatever joint space we want to address, we move it in all the directions that it moves. Nice breath in. Exhale all the way down. Bring your fishtail up and flap your fishtail from side to side, just bringing a little lifeblood before we push ourselves up and back into child's pose. Yeah, give it a few like little wiggles before you even come all the way back into child's pose. And let's start playing with the upper body. Coming onto your fingertips, walk the fingertips forward like little spider fingers, and then walk them over to the right side. Walk them over to the left side. Walk them back to the center and forward. And as you're walking back, make shoulder rolls. Getting under the shoulder blade, alternating shoulders forward and back. And let's come on to hands and knees. Cat's pose, breathing, arching. This is flexion extension. Let's go side to side. Inhale. Exhale as you turn. Nice. We're back to center. Now, give a little shake of the wrist. And back here, this time we're going to just drop the heart and push through upper thoracic. So some range of motion for the shoulder blades. It's not really moving my head much at all. How about one more like this? Nice. Now, we want to make like a circle, dropping the chest, right side of the chest, left side of the chest, and then lifting. So we're getting this alternating. We tried the opposite direction. We're like dropping left, right, coming up. So a circle around thoracic spine. Relax your jaw. Nice. Child's pose. Child's pose into downward facing dog. Bend in the knees, arch in the hip. Really, it's an arch in the low back, pedaling through the backs of the legs. Walk feet towards hands, little pedals. Walk hands back towards feet, forward fold. Holding the elbows, letting the head drop down. Switch your elbows, whichever was on top. Tabletop pose. Inhale, soft arch in the low back. Exhale, forward fold. Two more like this. From this forward fold, widen the feet a little bit, come down into the squat. Play around a little here. What does it feel like to have feet flat on the floor? Giving a good range of motion stretch through these ankles, right? Squatting requires so much flexibility through the ankles. Playing around, opening up one side. Over towards the opposite side. And from the squat into forward fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Wide leg stance. Nice breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Top of the head towards the floor. Enjoying this upside down time. Moving through high runner's lunge. I'm going to keep this little pillow close by. First, pivoting towards high runner's lunge. Bringing this knee down to the floor. I'm giving myself a little extra padding into low runner's lunge. All right, make sure things are in alignment. I've got my back toes tucked under. Just kind of how I do it. I want to make sure this front foot is in alignment. My right hand is down. My left arm rotates towards the sky. Big breath in. Exhale. And back to center. Coming back up in high runner's lunge to wide leg stance. Have a little time in that forward fold. We're going to spin it around opposite side, high runner's lunge. Into low runner's lunge. We've got left arm down, right arm rotates towards the ceiling. Nice breath in. Exhale back through high runner's lunge to wide leg forward bend. Walk the feet in. Let's come into squatting up into the Marshall stance. A little slight tuck of the hips forward. Next inhale. Straightening out. Walking the feet together. Giving a little dig of the leg. Stick it out. Nice. Roll the shoulders. Shoulder circle. Opposite direction, shoulder circle. Nice big arm circles. Knees are bent. So the low back is relaxed. Big arm circles. Opposite direction. Knees are soft. Start swinging the arms a little. Feel into that thoracic spine. Shake it up. Nice. Couple movements from standing that are also therapeutic stretches and range of motion. So we've got eagle arms. We did this from seated last week, but we had the arms all the way out. Give yourself a hug and squeeze like you're pulling apart the shoulder blades. Activating from top of shoulder and center of shoulders, triple heater channel. And then from here we inhale, open it on up, fan open the wrists, pericardium channel. So soft knees, soft low back. Big breath in, hug yourself, whatever arm was on top, switch, give yourself a nice hug and squeeze, breathe and hold. Inhale, open it up, eagle wingspan. Maybe you're an owl, maybe you're an osprey. Feel that opening right from the side of the breast tissue all the way down center of arms. Well, we kind of got to all the other fascias. We got water phase, we did fire phase, now we're doing supplementary fire, we did wood. So the only one left, take a big breath in, is for us to enjoy. Let's wiggle in the metal phase. Okay, lung, large intestine, space between the feet. If you like, interlacing the thumbs and stretching through the index fingers. If not, any other combination of things will do. Stretch through index fingers, take a big breath in. Exhale, keep the knees soft, fold forward, and stretch through the index finger. Breathe into the chest. This is the ultimate letting go, large intestine channel. It's all about letting go. What do you want to let go of? What do you want to complete? What do you want to cyclically be cool with? Let's bring it on back up. And let's go whichever thumb switch. Whatever was the orientation switch. Breathe in. Free breath. And we are in our full moon ritual right now. Perfectly timed in the portal. We're letting go. We don't need it, whatever it is. Inhale all the way back up. And let yourself have that little gentle back bend. Let the fingers stretch a little bit down. Back to center. A little bit in standing position. Feeling that activation. Kind of wiggle in any ways that feel good. And gosh, I feel like there's just so much we could do from here. Okay, but there were two poses that I had in mind from a set of Kriya that we typically do in the springtime of year. The whole practice is called Shankara Prakshalana, which is conch shell washing, which literally means from mouth to anus. So the practice is to drink warm salt water and do this set of 5 asanas, and I like to do 2 of the ones that are from standing. And what these asanas do is bring length to the spine, so detoxification, lengthening and stretching of the whole digestive system. So when you drink this water, if you sliced open a conch shell and you looked inside, it's really spirally on the inside, just like your intestines. So the practice is like you drink this warm salt water and then you do these 5 asanas. You do about 3 rounds of that. That's like the easygoing version. And it like scrubs on all the little nooks and crannies. So these are 2 poses. One is called palm tree pose, and the other is called swaying palm tree pose. So for palm tree pose, the feet are together. There's a balance element to it. You've got our hands interlaced overhead. And so since there's a balance element, we need a drishti, a concentration. You're going to inhale up and stretch all the way to the tips of the toes, and then extend your arms as far as you can overhead. You might get some vibes like you're doing Adva Asana, reversed corpse pose. It sends this giant traction through the spine. We're going to do a bunch of these. So inhale and get that way tippy top stretch. So the tips of the toes, arms are extended overhead. And like I said, there's a little balance element to it, but I'm also talking. Inhale and exhale down. Let's do 3 more. Feel like I'm on a diving platform. Nice. Bring it all the way down. Swaying palm tree pose, little space between the feet. Interlace the hands. Kick a hip out to the side to do the side bend. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Come all the way back to center. Give it some circles around the hips. Knees are soft. And how about in the opposite direction? Let's do figure 8s. Knees are so soft. Back to the center. Last pose for us today is a standing twist. You could have both feet on the floor. It might feel nicer on your knees if you pick up one heel at a time. So that would be, I'm going to my left and I'm picking up the right heel. No need to overexert here. Just letting go. Starting to slow down and coming to a stop all the way in the center. And just for a moment here, standing position, feel all over the body what feels different than when we started, and what might be the thing that comes next. Like, are you going to just jump over and come into a full moon circle? I'm going to pause us here today and end one Zoom to start another. Maybe see you over there. But thank you so much for this lovely practice today. We'll keep chipping away at spring in our bodies, doing therapeutic movement. Yay. All right. See you soon.